point of me having gone a lot of places is that I did that all on, granted, I had to pay tuition and everything, but I did that all on Duke's money. And so you can travel a ton on your school's money. And a lot of what you're going to learn when you get to college is how to take advantage of the programs and money that your school has. Because let's face it, you're paying a lot of money to go to school. And even with scholarships, like it costs a lot of money to go to school. And so when they're going to give you things for free, you need to take advantage of those things, because why not? And so the primary program I did was in Paris. And so most people study abroad their junior year is generally the common theme. So at Duke, we studied abroad in the fall, overwhelmingly. You could study abroad when you wanted, but this is when people did it because basketball season is the spring. So if you go to a school that has a big football season, people are probably going to study abroad in the spring because they don't want to miss the big sports season. And so most people will go at the same time. And then, at least for my program, it was in partnership with 3 other universities. And so we took 2 classes with the university students in Paris. And then we took 2 classes at a university in Paris, so with other French students. And that was super fun. I did get made fun of by the teacher a lot. And sometimes they spoke really fast and I didn't know what they were saying, but there were a couple of us who sat in, I took a French law class and there were a couple of us who sat in a row. And I know he would play movie clips and sometimes they were from pretty stereotypical American movies. And then he would say something, I would hear the word American, he'd point at us and then everyone else would laugh and we just didn't know what was going on. But overwhelmingly, it was a super fun and positive experience. And a lot of places will either let you live in dorms, or I stayed with the host family, which was really great because it really helped my French. And also my host mom was an artist, which was super cool in Paris. She would take me to all these art galleries and it was so Parisian. She had this little cat named Bob, which is Bub in French, like with the pronunciation. And like Bob would be lying on the patio. You could see the tip of the Eiffel Tower, and then she'd just be painting, and then we'd eat cheese and drink wine. So it was very much the stereotypical French experience. And programs will also have a ton of opportunities usually to do trips within the program and other cultural activities. So they had opportunities for us to go make macaroons and to do wine and cheese tasting classes. So yes, your college will sponsor you to drink alcohol if you choose, which is always, I personally think, great. Anything free, we go for. And they'd have day trips. So you could take a day trip to Normandy and see things out there. And that was all covered as part of the program. So that was really fun and really exciting just to get to take advantage of those opportunities. They take you to shows. We went to the opera a few times. If I'm saying I'm an arts admirer, the opera's great. If I'm just being myself, I'm not a huge fan, but it was really exciting to try it out. And just study abroad is really, and when you're living in a place for such a long time, especially if you're like me and have lived in the same place your whole life, it's really nice to be able to spend enough time somewhere that you can really get to know the place. I had my little soup shop on the corner that I loved going to. There was a cat cafe nearby that I would like to study at. Also, to clarify, it was not like cat cafes here, if you've ever been to one, where it's like very separate. You can have maybe a coffee while you're with the cats. This was a restaurant and you just ate your dinner and the cats were like walking on the table next to you. So I don't know how that mass sanitation goes. We're just going to say it's the French. But so there's so many fun things to do, and getting to know a new place is really something I would encourage everyone to do.
Yeah, absolutely. And as you've literally just shown, you can go to any number of places for any different number of reasons, for any different number of times. So we mentioned like flexibility earlier as being the name of the game. I feel like when people think of study abroad, they think of it in a very sort of specific way. You think of it as going to another country either for a semester or for a summer, usually to learn the language. which is definitely a huge part of what people do when they go to study abroad. But the important thing that I think we want to emphasize too is that you have a lot of choice in terms of where you go and what you go to do and how long that lasts.